There's a couple things that I'm really passionate about, and one of them is player development, and the other one is learning. Is how do we acquire the skills that are necessary to develop? So, along my journey, I've come across Goodhart's Law, which there's a lot of things that resonate with me, but this one really struck a chord. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. So one of the things that I believe is that each of us have perspectives from an inside view and an outside view. And an inside view is whatever that thing is you're doing that you're totally immersed in. It could be your job, it could be your hobby. It's that thing that requires almost perfection. So an inside view is a process-oriented obsession. There is a perfect way to do it, and we're going to strive to hit that. And coaches have an inside view on their sport, and teachers have an inside view on their curriculum, and they identify right from wrong, and it's really, really difficult to not be a wrong spotter on the inside, because on the inside, that's all we care about, doing things the right way. And yet on the outside, there's this outcome, which is all you really care about, right? So as a fan of any team you root for, you have an outside view, and you don't care if you win 15-14 or 62-5. I mean, as long as you walk away with the win, all is right with the world. But on the inside, you know that eventually, if you don't do things the right way, those wins are just they're just temporary. Like, you have to continue to strive to do your best. And when you get wrapped up in a win focus, eventually your world is going to come crumbling down. And the reason it's going to come crumbling down isn't because wins aren't validating and winners aren't rewarded. It's because when you stop to consider that just because you're on the outside, it doesn't mean you're always going to stay on the outside. Eventually, you move on. Eventually, high school kids become college kids, become professionals. I say there are no finish lines, and success is a journey. There is no final target which we cross the line, raise our hands in victory, and say we made it. Like, that's not going to come. That day is not going to come. So whenever we attach ourselves to external validation, to an outcome-based model, we are setting ourselves up for eventual failure. And that's what Goodhart's Law says. It says it's time to start recognizing what are measures and what are targets. And when we flip them, we are setting ourselves up for failure. So we need to start recognizing what it is that's a measurement and what it is that's a target. And there is a time and a place to cheer outcomes. But the minute you cheer that outcome, you better reset your sights and get focused on the next outcome, because this is the model that drives success. A process-based model that doesn't accept the constant validation that outcome-based thinking always seems to try to reward.